Hi, my name is David Greenson. I'm a regional coordinator in New York. We're going to be doing a quick tutorial here on how to make follow-up calls to people after a move-on event. What you're going to need for this is a script, something so you have an idea of what you plan to say. You'll obviously need a list of people to call. There's a couple of suggestions for how you can get those lists on the screen. And then, of course, you need some sort of plan for checking back in with your recruitment coordinator or with your counsel about what happened on the calls. So here are our goals for this conversation. We want to have a real conversation with this person, not just read a script. We also want to tell the person what's happening next, what exciting things they might want to get involved in. We want to make a really personal request that they join, that they get involved in that next thing, from us to them. And then we also want to look for opportunities to perhaps build even more relationship. We're going to be using a technique for making calls called the 4 C's. The 4 C's starts with making a connection with the person. We want to ask them some questions. We want to show them that we're interested in them as a person. Next, we want to give them some context. Explain why what's coming up next is exciting and something they might want to be involved in. Third, we want to ask them to join us and commit to getting more involved. And then finally, to catapult, we want to give them an opportunity to do something right away. To show you how this works in action, I am now going to call up the field organizer, Susanna Hook-Rogers, who is going to play someone receiving a follow-up call.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is Susanna there?
This is she.
Hey, Susanna, this is David. I'm a member of the Brooklyn Move-On Council, and I wanted to find out what you thought about the community forum that we had a couple days ago. Do you have a few minutes to talk right now?
I do, David.
Oh, excellent. So obviously both of us went because we were interested in and concerned about the role of corporations in our democracy.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if, how you've been affected by the way that corporations have such a dominant role. How has it affected you in your life?
Well, I have to say that after the forums, I've really been realizing more and more how it is affecting me in ways that I didn't think about before. But I got really sort of interested in working on this issue after the recent Supreme Court ruling because it was such a sort of blatant disregard for democracy, and I'm just really concerned about where we're going now.
Yeah, I know, me too. I mean, it's scary. I mean, I think it got a lot of us to really think now is the time we gotta start getting active.
Yeah.
What did you think about the forum itself? I mean, did you feel like it was a powerful event?
Yeah, it was a really powerful event. I mean, I think that it's clear that people are really upset about this and ready to work on it. And I think that part of the challenge is that it's just a big issue and we have a lot to figure out, and it's affecting all of us in so many different ways. But it was very clear from the forum that Move On is ready to work on this, and that the people that came to the meeting are really excited to work on it. So that was really inspiring.
Yeah, no, to me too. I mean, I really, just the fact that so many folks turned out and had so many great ideas, it really reaffirmed my sense that we can really do this,
Yeah.
And, there were like hundreds of these happening all over the country, and it's really exciting. Move On is going to be collecting all the ideas that came up in all the groups, and then we'll be able to look at some of the ideas that some of the other groups came up with. So it should be really cool. I wanted to talk to you about, we're having a meeting coming up, because obviously the forum was like a great first step, but if we want to really build this movement and take on these corporations, we have to build on that. We're having a meeting next Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we're going to, talk about the forum and what happened and plan some next steps, and it should be pretty exciting. What do you think? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Oh, absolutely. Where, you said next Wednesday, when?
7 p.m. It's at somebody's house. It's an apartment near Cabin Plaza. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a member of the council here in Brooklyn. And we get together, roughly once a month to, put on events like this, and we usually have meetings also to discuss what's next, and it's usually pretty fun. It's like a potluck, and we have a pretty tight meeting where we get a lot of stuff accomplished, and then, we hang out and share some snacks and talk about stuff, and it's a really good progressive community. So, what do you think?
That seems great.
Sorry?
That absolutely seems great. So so at this meeting we're going to be planning, what are we going to be planning at this meeting?
Well, as we talked about at the forum, there's a couple of things coming up. One is that we're going to be organizing an action related to the Goldman Sachs debacle. You know, just their whole abuse of power, and we're going to be approaching some of our local Congress people to really, you know, push them to hold Goldman Sachs accountable. That's going to be coming up really short term. And then also, as they said at the forum, we're going to be having some really big events happening over the summer. So we'll start talking about how we can work our way towards that, because obviously we need to get a lot more people involved. So do you think that, would you like to come to the meeting and meet some of the other folks in the council and check us out?
I think it sounds very exciting. The Goldman Sachs stuff, yeah, is ridiculous. So I'm very excited to work on that.
Absolutely. All right, very cool. So let me get your email address, and then I can send you the link for where you can sign up. And if you know other people that you think would be interested in coming and talking with us, that'd be great if you invite them as well.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. So my email address is susanna@gmail.com.
All right, excellent. I will send this link out to you right away, and you can just go ahead and forward it to other people as well. And I'll look for you at the meeting. All right. So my name's David, and let's we'll touch base when we get there.
Great. All right. Thanks so much for calling, David. I look forward to seeing you again.
All right. Thanks, Susanna. So let's review our goals and take a look at what just happened on that phone call. Our first goal was to have a real conversation, to really engage with this person, go beyond the script, talk to them like a compatriot, a person that we're really interested in, because they are a fellow Move On member and hopefully somebody that's going to be part of our council. Our second goal was to tell the person what's coming up next, give them a sense of the context, the larger story behind the event that they were participating in, and that's going to frame the new things that are coming up. Third, we wanted to make a personal request that they join us and get involved more like we have in the council. And then finally, we want to look for opportunities to build relationship. We need to move through these calls and talk to lots of people, but if we have a chance to really talk to somebody for a few minutes, it really makes a big difference in terms of whether they decide to get involved or not. So that is the end of our video tutorial on follow-up calls. Let's all get out there and start making some. Have a good time. Thanks, everybody.